Welcome back to the channel where I primarily make videos covering off-meta playstyles that you, the viewer, recommend to me. Lately, however, I've wanted to break out of my comfort zone and try new things. Champions I don't regularly play. Lanes that I am not good at because I am on drugs that aren't even legal yet. I'm trying it all, so if you have an off-meta that you want me to cover, comment it and make sure you're subscribed for when the next video comes out, because you might see yourself. So without further introduction, let's get started with Gnar Jg. This playstyle was curated by the commenter himself, Jiggle, a cutie patootie with a nose ring and tapestry on his walls, and props to him because Gnar Jg is not the easiest thing. In fact, he recommends that it is for the bored one-trickers. For the rest of us that don't one-trick this champion, it feels more inclined to the gambling man. The man on the roulette wheel waiting for the stars to align to get a gank where you can transform into Mega Gnar. And when it hits, boy howdy does it feel good. There are some factors that can control this, like doing a camp or two before ganking, but generally, it's pretty difficult if you don't know how to control the Mega Gnar bar. Jiggle also recommends going blue pet because of the movement speed that you get with your W will stack, making you a speed demon. But if you ask me, someone who's played about 4 games on Gnar, green pet works better. It gives him more survivability, as even though Gnar plays a lot like a marksman, his tank form is not tanky enough to be the 1v9 teamfighter that you want him to be. Gnar is a quick clearer with a lot of mobility in his kit. His E comes in handy on a number of occasions, and Gnar Jg can be very fun once you get the hang of it. This one seems a little outlandish, kind of a theory craft, but I'll do what the kids call letting him cook. For this lane, we can't play range top without prioritizing our poke. That's why we have to max Q, then W. Speaking of poke, there's a little neat trick on Zyra that goes a little something like this. If you Q, then you W, you reduce the time the plant is on the ground, giving them a surprise. Eventually, you'll get to a point where the plants CS for you, making the game easier than it needs to be. Unlike another ranged top laner with AI in his kit, Zyra's plants actually target whatever you auto-attack, so it's impossible for you to miss the cannon minion. Zyra in top lane with first strike, although being a glass cannon herself, accelerates those moments where you're miles away from any fight and still taking all the kills. If laning becomes an issue, she has really good roaming potential, but if you hard lose your lane, just remember, you did this to yourself. Hey, have you ever played Tahm Kench and thought he wasn't annoying enough? AP Tahm Kench Mid does everything Tank Kench does, but better. Before, he did damage, but now, he does damage. It's like you're playing Earth, and if you're up against a squishy mid laner, there's no question you'll come out on top. Playing anywhere in lane is not far enough from you. No one can peel away your shield, and no one can survive after you vor them. New tastes. Roaming has never felt more one-sided with his W off cooldown. You provide so much utility for your team. Tahm Kench does it all yet again, and this playstyle is a recommend for sure. A wise man once said, "Give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'll spend the first 4 sharpening my axe." As Jayce is one of the harder characters in League of Legends, jungle is the perfect playground to practice his abilities. Your early game is going to be difficult, but if you utilize all your abilities when you clear, it'll get easier. When approaching a target, always use your gun form. Squeeze out everything you can from it, then use your hammer. That goes for ganking too. Jayce is one of the hardest characters to get a gank off. You have to put up your wall, then Q and hope that it lands, just to get a slow. A lot of the time, however, you could just bypass this by hitting them with your hammer. During team fights, stay as far back as you can until you know it's safe to go into melee range. The golden boy from Piltover is an interesting and fun change to the jungle. Try him out, and don't keep him waiting. He's a busy man, and he's gotta get back to, killing children. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hate this game, and I wanna get banned. If you're gonna try this off meta, you could go the standard fling flip minion like burger singe support, but you might as well try and maximize fun, maximize silly, maximize the things you control, and minimize the things you can't control.
That's my thing.
Go again. As funny singed, you have two main rules. Number one, you have one of the highest base move speeds in the game, so use that to roam. And number two, you are bait. Use your utility and then get out of there. Never overstay longer than you should. And I know it's tempting, but never try to backline. With Ultimate Spellbook, the game completely 180s every time it's off cooldown. Just remember to try your hardest not to take the game seriously. Hey, if you're seeing this, you've made it to the end, and I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for your view. As you can see, I'm a pretty small channel, so if you comment an off meta, I'll see it. And I have a goal by the end of the year to get verified on YouTube. So if you could help me out, if you're a new viewer and you like the video, subscribe, because there's more to come. Have a good one.